A Lesson Plan Website Guide at Dmoz-Odp. Chapter 1. Lesson Plan Websites 1. Subcategories at dmoz-odp.org/reference/education/k_through_12/educators/lesson_plans. Elementary School. Lesson Planning Software. Art. Bilingual Education. History. Language Arts. Math. Native American Web Quests. Religious Studies. Science. Social Studies. Technology. Lesson Plan Websites. bbc.co.uk/learning, BBC Learning, an online learning community for everyone for birth to adulthood. This site contains English language acquisition tools, education resources, articles, media, and online classes. buildingrainbows.com/ca, Curriculum Archive, a website repository devoted to the creation and collaboration of educational lessons and curriculum. Cantech.ca, Cantech, hundreds of lesson plans for all subject areas and thousands of links to education material. Cantech includes links and original education resources including lesson plans, units, songs, games, recipes, and activities for multiple subjects and grades. ClickTeaching.com, ClickTeaching, offers a range of free worksheets, lesson plans and activity ideas for schools and teachers. Also allows users to upload and share their resources. cln.org/themes/bubbles.html, Bubbles, provides links to science curricular resources and instructional materials, lesson plans, in the specific topic of bubbles. eastweb.unomaha.edu/k-12/homi.cfm, economic education lessons, online economics lessons all levels and many content areas keyed to the Nebraska Social Studies/economics standards. edchange.org/multicultural, multicultural education pavilion at the University of Virginia, created by a group of University of Virginia graduate students. Ideas for multicultural lessons and activities, a reading list and information about a listserv for those interested in multicultural education. edhelper.com, edhelper.com, a database of lesson plans plus education news. edcitement.nih.gov/lesson-plans, edcitment, sortable by grade level or topic, includes selection of guides on site and links to other related sites. eduplace.com/activity/index.html, Education Place Activity Search, by Houghton Mifflin. Many lesson plans that correspond to their reading and math books, but may be used by anyone. Searchable by subject and grade level, for grades kindergarten through 8. Instructorweb.com, Instructor Web, teaching lesson plans, worksheets, and related educational resources. jjohnnypress.com, Teachers Emergency Lesson Plans, resource for all teachers in any grade, any level, who sometimes need new ideas, or who need on-the-spot lessons for those times when the regular curriculum is not available, such as supply teaching, off-subject teaching. language-worksheets.com, language worksheets, free printable worksheets for grades pre-K through early secondary level in English vocabulary and grammar as well as how to tell time. learner.org/exhibits, interactive learning exhibits. This collection of interactive units was developed with funds from the Annenberg Project and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. LessonPlanet.com, Lesson Planet, lesson plans and worksheets reviewed and rated by teachers in science, language arts, math, social studies, history, music, health. LessonPlans.com.au, computer lesson plans, free lesson plans and lesson plan books to support using computers in the classroom. lessonplans4teachers.com, lesson plan for teachers, designed to help teachers efficiently utilize the Internet in preparing lesson plans. LessonPlansPage.com, the lesson plans page, arranged by grade level and subject area. Lessonsnips.com, lesson snips, free lesson plans, lessons, worksheets, teaching activities. LessonTutor.com, Lesson Tutor, add and search through lesson plans and support articles for all students, all grades, and all abilities. Members.tripod.com/rebug, lesson plans are us, a growing database of lessons ranging from K to 12. Many are interdisciplinary. Lessons may be ordered for a small fee. Mysterynet.com/learn, Mysterynet's learning with mysteries, lesson plans, mysteries and mystery sites to use and discussion. For teachers, educators, students, and parents. A Mysterynet.com website. nickjr.com/teachers, teachers.nick.com, nickjr. Provides classroom resources and lesson plans. pbs.org/teachers, PBS Teachers, lessons complete with free media spanning multiple subjects for preschool through 12th grade. pecentral.org/lesson ideas/paylessonplans.html, PE Central Lesson Ideas, database of health and physical education lesson ideas. Includes classroom management tips and warm-up ideas. sports-media.org, Sports Media International, lesson plans, tips, drills, activities and other teaching aids for the physical education teacher. teacherhelp.org, resources for Christian teachers, a resource site for teachers with links to lessons in all subject areas, including links to crafts, coloring, puppets and holidays. teachers.net/lessons, teachers.net, lesson plans, teacher-submitted lesson plans, lessons for all grade levels and subjects K-12. teachingabout.religion.com, teaching about religion, instructional resources that facilitate teaching about religion in public schools with objectivity and civic fairness regarding diverse worldviews. Buy printed manual or print free from site. teachingideas.co.uk, teaching ideas for primary teachers. Hundreds of teaching ideas, activities, resources, and worksheets are available free for primary teachers to use in their classrooms. Themedi.com, themaday.com, a collection of day-long thematic units for K-2nd grade teachers. Includes lesson plans for all subject areas, printable worksheets, links to related sites and lists of suggested literature. TheTeachersCorner.net, The Teacher's Corner, offers lesson plans, thematic units, calendars, pen pals. TimeTravelerProductions.com, Time Traveler Productions, multimedia lesson plans on various topics in U.S. and world history, science, and sociology. Tolerance.org, Planet Tolerance, features projects for helping children respect differences and personal challenges that impact other students in their classes. uni.edu/GUI, Geographic Alliance of Iowa, lesson plans and background material for use in United States schools. Includes information on society and culture, climate, history, transportation, and other topics. virtualclassroom.net, Virtual Classroom, History and Social Studies lesson plans, PowerPoint presentations and research links. vocabulary-lessson-plans.com, Vocabulary lesson plans, free vocabulary lesson plans based on Latin roots. English derivative lists, vocabulary quizzes and tests. Wikiteach.org, Wikiteach, a searchable library of lesson plans that anyone can from preschool to college level. wscholastic.com/browse/lessonplans.jsp, Scholastic teaching resources, far more than books. This site provides thousands of free resources for teachers including lessons, worksheets, mini-books and supplementary curriculum. Yale.edu/nt/curriculum/1987/2/87.02.04.x.html, Science Fiction and the Future, lesson plan by Lorna S. Dills, used to teach 7th graders about the concepts of future and change by reading science fiction. Lesson plan software websites. primaryresources.co.uk, software to help write lesson plans. ASSESS2ACHIEVE.com, Assess to Achieve, software package that includes lesson planning, assessment, evaluations, and report writing for teachers. LessonPlanet.net, lesson plan. Its software allows the teacher to correlate his or her lessons to the state curriculum standards and benchmarks. Unicornsoftware.com, Unicorn Software Limited. Art lesson plan websites. arctic.edu/aic/collections/exhibitions/African-American/index, African American art, designed to help students' understanding of objects in the Art Institute of Chicago. ansaxton.co.uk, Anne Saxton's Art Scheme of Work, lesson plans covering Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2, topic driven for primary schools in the UK. www.006.upp.so-net.jp/art-communal/lesson-plans.htm, Art lessons and ideas for teachers, art lesson plans and curriculum ideas for elementary school and art education, in English and Japanese. arctic.edu/aic/collections/exhibitions/impressionism/index, Impressionism and Post-Impressionism, designed to help students' understanding of objects in the Art Institute of Chicago. incredibleart.org/lessons, The Incredible Art Department, favorite lessons, art lessons for early childhood, elementary, secondary and college level students. k6artlessonplans.com, k6artlessonplans.com, plans for art education, kindergarten to 6th grade. Monthly subscription. kinderart.com/sculpture, sculpture and collage lessons for K-12, KinderArt, free sculpture and collage lesson plans. Bilingual education lesson plan websites. veen.com/veen/leslie/curriculum, elementary Spanish curriculum by Leslie Veen, aka Spanish as a second language curriculum. csun.edu/tilde/hcedu013/eslindex.html, esl/bilingual/foreign language lesson plans and resources, lesson plans for ESL, foreign language and bilingual education, employment and study abroad opportunities for educators, professional associations, and educational standards. sedel.org/scimath/paso partners/welcome.html, sedl Paso Partners, integrating mathematics, science, and language, an instructional program, lesson plans and elementary level thematic units available in English and Spanish. History education lesson plans. abookintime.com, A Book in Time, chronological lists of books, crafts, maps, timelines, and other resources for social studies teachers and homeschoolers. eds-resources.com/edhist.htm, ushistorylink101.com/lessons, internet lessons for world history, units that include art, creative writing, and economic analysis, as well as a series of quizzes on ancient cultures. pbs.org/jefferson/enlight, Thomas Jefferson Online, Enlightenment, classroom activities from the Ken Burns documentary site. questexperiences.com/quest2/history adventures, History adventures, how to plan history adventures and themed treasure hunts to bring history alive. rapidintellect.com/aeqweb/mo2413sep.htm, teaching Needham's puzzle, fostering historical thinking. In this article, the author shares his teaching experience with regard to Needham's puzzle and introduces online resources and teaching materials. studentsfriend.com, World History and Geography. This resource for high school teachers includes a concise alternative textbook, instructional materials, and activities. Chapter 2. Lesson Plan Websites 2. Language Arts Lesson Plan websites at dmoz-odp.org/arts/education/language_arts/lesson_plans_and_reproducibles. Reading Instruction websites at dmoz-odp.org/arts/education/language_arts/reading_instruction. Subcategories. Articles. Literacy organizations. Products. Reading recovery. auburn.edu/academic/education/reading_genie, the Reading Genie, links and lessons about learning to read including research-based methods. BalancedReading.com, Balanced Reading, offers the ABCDarian reading assessment and printable practice word study lessons for building decoding skills, recognizing words in chunks. Bookadventure.org, Book Adventure, a reading motivation program for children in grades K-8. It offers recommended reading lists by grade level along with rewards for reading accomplishments. CanDoHelperPage.com, Cando's helper page, printable practice activities to teach reading skills through grammar activities, sight word worksheets, and flash-based games. centeroninstruction.org/resources.cfm category reading, Center on Instruction, Reading, grades K-12, offers research-based materials and printable guides on reading to assist educators and improve reading outcomes for students in grades K-12. edhelper.com/reading comprehension.htm, reading comprehension stories with worksheets. edhelper.com's reading comprehension stories combine reading, math, spelling, writing, and vocabulary skills. english.glendale.cc.ca.us/methods.html, Speed Reading Self-Pacing Methods, by Dennis Doyle, Glendale Community College. Provides simple motion techniques to increase reading speed. guysread.com, Guys Read, a site designed to get boys reading. Offers a list of books recommended by the webmaster, children's author John Schieska, and others suggested by visitors to the website. K12reader.com, K12 Reader, featuring articles, printable worksheets, and book reviews. mrsperkins.com, MRS Perkins Dolch Words, resources to help teach sight words including Dolch word lists, worksheet makers, and games. myrad.org, MyRead, strategies for teaching reading to children in the middle years. readinga-z.com, Reading AZ, offers books that you can download and print. readingfirst.virginia.edu, Reading First in Virginia, a resource for teachers of primary grade children. readingrockets.org, Reading Rockets, offers strategies, lessons, activities, and ideas designed to help young children learn to read. rhlschool.com/reading.htm, Reading Comprehension, includes weekly worksheets for upper elementary and middle school levels. sadlier-oxford.com/phonics/teacher.cfm, Sadlier Oxford Phonics, comprehensive videos for teachers and parents explaining phonics concepts, plus links to state standards and games and activities. succeedtoriad.com, Succeed to Read, provides tips and techniques parents and teachers can use to teach children how to read. teaching-reading-fundaments.com, Teaching Reading Fundamentals, a guide for parents, a guide to help parents teach their children to read, providing resources and recommendations for teaching the alphabet, phonics, spelling, fluency, and comprehension. Textmapping.org, the Text Mapping Project, a resource for teachers improving reading comprehension skills instruction. TheLibraryLady.net, The Library Lady, a literacy website for parents and educators of young children. Chapter 2. Lesson Plan Websites 2. Language Arts Lesson Plans. Andromeda.rutgers.edu/tilde/lit/american.html, Literary Resources American, clearinghouse for academic resources related to American literature. Angelfire.com/co3/teachhpotter/index.html, Fun with Harry Potter series, downloadable and reproducible activity sheets of all types for the classroom or individual use, to use as an enhancement to the series by J.K. Drawyourworld.com, Draw Your World, drawing and writing lessons to integrate into curriculum, science, history, geography, handwriting, and social studies. ESLflow.com, ESLflow, ESLflow's Guide to English as a Second Language, lessons from around the Internet. ForeverLearning.com, Forever Learning, this innovative company of experienced educators has a singular mission to create fun, action-packed and engaging educational games and activities for grades 6 to 12. FRENCH-IN-PARIS.com, French in Paris, offers French lessons whether you are a beginner, intermediate or higher level. gardenofpraise.com/lesson.htm, literature-based reading lessons, phonics-based reading lesson plans for lower elementary students based on chapter books including Boxcar Children, Stone Fox, Flat Stanley, and Little House in the Big Woods. jhuapl.edu/education/elementary/newspaper course/index.htm, Johns Hopkins University, writing a newspaper story, writing course for elementary school students. musicalspanish.com/teachersguide.htm, Teacher's Guide to Using Songs in the Classroom, a lesson plan, articles and links for foreign language teachers interested in using music in the classroom. onlineworksheets.org, Improving Education Incorporated, generates free online worksheets for language arts and math. readingtarget.com, phonics for free, program uses reading tests to identify weak skills, then provides lessons for skills that need work. rigsinst.org, the Riggs Institute, non-profit agency, offers language arts curriculum for teachers and parents, changing the way people think about teaching writing, spelling, and reading. roae.fws1.com/5tips.html, reflection of an echo, 5 tips to help kids enjoy poetry, a short tutorial for parents and teachers on how to get kids interested in poetry. tamboreeds.com, 100 remedial reading and phonics worksheets, free printable worksheets for improving reading and phonics skills. teachersfirst.com/share/raven, Teachers First, the interactive Raven, interactive presentation of Poe's classic poem, lets students learn the vocabulary and literary devices in Poe's writing. teachingideas.co.uk/english/contents.htm, English teaching ideas, suggested classroom activities for students ages 5 to 11. teachit.co.uk, Teachit's resources for English teachers, a free online library for English, media, and drama teachers, offering quality worksheets, lesson plans, online lessons and links. tsoltasks.com, TESOL tasks, worksheets, mainly literature-based, for grade 6 to 12 students. tpet.com, Teachers Pet Publications, sells class preparatory products and resource guides for teaching literature for secondary school English teachers. writingachievement.com/advancedplacement.htm, Writing Achievement, the power of a seamless curriculum, humanities block and advanced placement curricula for outstanding student achievement in the public schools. writingwizard.longcountdown.com, ESL Handwriting Worksheet Wizard, use the free, online English writing worksheet maker for kids learning to write. Native American lesson plan websites. angelfire.com/tx4/lessons/native_americans2.html, Native Americans, web quest covering tribes in 4 different culture areas. valdosta.edu/BL Brothers/global.html, Tall Chief, America's Prima Ballerina, web quest about the famous Osage dancer, with illustrations, critical thinking questions, and related assignments. Religious lesson plan websites. angelfire.com/pe/penny-t, challenging deals with religious education in England and Wales. dialogueaustralasia.org, Dialogue Australasia, resources for teaching the 5 strands approach to religious and values education in Australia. natri.org.uk, National Association of Teachers of Religious Education, UK Subject Teacher Association for Professionals in primary and secondary schools and higher education. parrotfish.co.uk, The Parrotfish Company, multicultural and religious resources for use in schools and other educational settings, also photographs, children's workshops, and in-service training for teachers. request.org.uk, Request, resources for teaching about Christianity in religious education, suitable for key stages 1 to 4. readtoday.org.uk, Read Today Online, resources to support the teaching of the major world faiths in religious education. Chapter 3. Lesson Plan Websites 3. Social Studies Lesson Plan Websites. eduplace.com/ss/act/signs.html, education place activity, go on a sign hunt, encourages children to read and use the signs in their neighborhood and school. eduplace.com/ss/act/memory.html, education place activity, tools of the trade, encourages children to recall what they have learned about different occupations and their related tools. Technology lesson plan websites. 4teachers.org, 4teachers.org, over 1,000 new resources, indexed and organized to help you find exactly what you need. educationaids.bizland.com, Education Aids, software designed to help anyone learn anything, preschool to adult. educate.net, ED's online learning services, online science. georgetown.edu/faculty/jod/teachdemo/teachdemo.html, new tools for teaching by J. O'Donnell, a hypertext introduction to Internet novices including email with students, email lists, libraries, newsgroups, and help. rosarodz.tripod.com/webquest.htm, webquest, Christmas in Mexico and Puerto Rico. Participant is a reporter who has been sent to one of two countries to research Christmas celebrations. School.discoveryucatán.com/Schrock Kathy Schrock's Guide for Educators, a categorized list of curriculum and teacher professional growth sites. sun-associates.com, Sun Associates, instructional technology integration, resources and links for K-12 educators to integrate, plan and evaluate instructional technology. virtualchase.justia.com/other-resources/information-quality, virtual chase, evaluating the quality of information on the Internet, checklists, instructions, tools, and links to legal and factual research on the Internet. webquest.sdsu.edu, the WebQuest page, ready-made web search activities and training materials to make your own. Teaching websites at dmoz-odp.org/reference/education/k_through_12/educators/teaching_resources. Subcategories: Elementary, High School, Middle School. Lesson plans, Products and services, Rubrics, Software. 4empowerment.com, for Empowerment, offers resources and services for 6th through 12th grade teachers and their students, including curricula, project ideas and collaborative opportunities in the areas of science, language arts, and community service. actdn.com, the Digital Education Network, lessons and activities in math, language arts, social studies, astronomy and graphic design. angelfire.com/biz6/education/index.html, FARA's educational links to general resources such as the U.S. Department of Education, special education, and bilingual education, as well as links specific teachers' lesson plans and research sites. angelfire.com/ga/Pamela's homepage, Pamela's homepage, Teaching Matters, classroom management ideas, free stuff, back to school ideas and links. atoskidstuff.com, A to Z Kids Stuff, worksheets and lesson resources for toddlers to school-age children to help them grow and have fun. Barinia.com, Barinia, features information about educational activities, book reviews and gadget guide. Blackhistory.com, Black History, offers a free monthly multimedia presentation, lesson plans, assignments, grading rubrics and activities for the classroom. BrendanIsTeaching.com, Brendan is Teaching, free teaching resource generators, downloads, classroom toys, and utilities. ClassCharts.com, Class Charts, an online system for managing class seating charts and behavior. CoolCatTeacher.blogspot.com, Cool Cat Teacher blog, resources, information, and tools for teachers, including global collaboration from a classroom teacher. CottonsJourney.com, Cotton's Journey, curriculum, literature resources, links to cotton and educational organizations promoting the importance of this crop. Creative ideas for you.com/mentor_teacher.html, creative ideas from a mentor teacher program and search engine links. Criticalthinking.org, the critical thinking community, providing a forum and resources about Socratic questioning, higher order thinking and critical thinking. Cyberbee.com, Cyberbee, provides ways to integrate technology into the classroom in several subjects including math, science, social studies, and language arts. ECB.org, Wisconsin Educational Communications Board, provides information about professional development and classroom and technology resources related to public broadcasting programming. ECSU.K12.mn.us, Metro Educational Cooperative Services Unit, provides educational experiences for governmental and nonprofit organizations in Minnesota, ranging from a composite calendar for all members and special academic challenges for students to workshops for administrators. edbydesign.com/parentress.html, education by design, practical ideas and information for teaching reading, writing, spelling and math. edgate.com, the Copernicus Education Gateway, directory of websites offering educational resources for students, parents, and teachers. edhelpernet.com, edhelper.com, educational links. educationalpress.org/educationalpress, personal educational press, a free online utility for teachers, parents, and tutors to make flashcards, print word lists and generate worksheets for educational games. eduplace.com, Houghton Mifflin's Education Place, K-8 elementary educational activities, games, themes, graphic organizers, writing prompts, benchmark papers and research. edutopia.org, George Lucas Educational Foundation, Edutopia, working to improve public schools with resources, tools, and solutions for teachers, administrators and parents. essentiallearningproducts.com/lesson-plans-and-activities, essential learning products, teaching K-8, newsletter with discussion lists, activities, links, and archives. extension.illinois.edu/ce, strategies for empowering students, activities to challenge students' minds, empower their senses of well-being and rekindle their hearts with a commitment to values and beliefs essential to becoming and being whole individuals. fenichel.com/teacher.html, Dr. Michael Fenichel's Teaching Tools, collection of resources for classroom teachers, parents, and school-based counselors. fno.org/nov97/toolkit.html, questioning toolkit, several dozen kinds of questions and questioning tools presented with graphic organizers. globalschuelnet.org, Global Schuelnet, e-learning projects, international competitions, and resources aimed at improving academic performance, develop science, math, literacy and communication skills, foster teamwork, civic responsibility and collaboration, encourage workforce preparedness and create multicultural understanding. goodcharacter.com/article_3.html, ethical reasoning and the art of classroom dialogue, techniques for leading classroom dialogue with students in which students feel secure to express their own thoughts instead of parroting what the teacher wants to hear. homework-online.com, homework online, teachers can post their homework assignments on the internet for student/parent access and conduct online forums with students. iepwriter.org, IEP Writer, comparison of different individual education plan writing systems. ilovethatteachingidea.com, I love that teaching idea, resources for elementary school teachers in math, science, reading, writing, spelling and assessment, as well as workshops and recommended books. in2edu.com, in2edu, database download of resources, lesson plans, free stuff, teaching ideas, themes, units and software. ion.uwinnipeg.ca/James, mathematical tailwinds, contains stories with mathematical problem solving embedded in them and sample K-8 mathematics lesson plans. Jigsaw.org, the Jigsaw Classroom, strategies and resources for reducing racial conflict, promoting better learning and improving student motivation. K-12math.info, K-12 Math Information, provides over 135,000 pieces of information on 1,000 content items commonly used in K-12th grade mathematics. kittyhouse.com, kittyhouse.com, worksheets, clip art, lesson plans and resources, tools, songs, poems, and crafts. learner.org/workshops/tml/workshop3/index.html, teaching multicultural literature, online workshop with teaching strategies, sample texts, and videos and recommended authors. learner.org/teacherslab, Teachers Lab, based upon professional development series and workshops broadcast on the Annenberg channel. Each lab combines online activities with background information and interactive polls or worksheets participants can use in their classrooms, as well as links to related websites. LearnNC.org, Learn North Carolina, K-12 lesson plans, assessments, and web links and professional development with some resources reserved for registered North Carolina members. LegoEngineering.com, Lego Engineering, a resource for educators who use LEGO Mindstorms technologies. LessonDepot.com, Lesson Depot, lesson plans and lesson plan templates for teachers. LiteracyAssessment.co.uk, Literacy Assessment, teachers' tool for assessing literacy ability of students with standardized online literacy tests. Lookstein.org, Lookstein Center for Jewish Education, educational resources for Jewish educators. mythinglinks.org/reference-teachers.html, mythologies mything links, teachers reference K-12. This illustrated page focuses on resources for teaching myth, folklore, and the arts, but it also includes general resources. nces.ed.gov/practitioners, National Center for Educational Statistics, K-12 practitioners homepage, current research and statistics specially tailored for educators' interests and needs, presented with animated charts/graphs. pbs.org/in-the-mix/educators_index.html, in the mix PBS series for educators, transcripts, discussion guides and other resources to help educators integrate in the mix, the PBS series for teens, into the classroom. ProTeacher.net, ProTeacher, a community of teachers in early childhood, elementary and middle school, teaching discussions, blogs, and chat. ptc.nsw.edu.au, Professional Teachers Council web activities, dozens of web quests on various topics with rubrics and teachers' guides included. Puzzlemaker.com, Puzzlemaker, a site that allows you to create puzzles and games for your newsletters, flyers, handouts, or classroom assignments. Readingtest.co.uk, Reading Test, explanation of various types of online reading test. Reportcommentbank.co.uk, Report Comment Bank, point and click system to help teachers write their student report cards. rhlschool.com, RHL School free worksheets and more, exercises in various subject areas and additional resources. Scholastic.com/teachers, Scholastic, teachers, resources ranging from lesson plans and professional links to authors and online activities. Smithsonian.ucatyon.org, Smithsonian Center for Education and Museum Studies, education resources and information, lesson plans, field trips and interactive activities based on Smithsonian Museum collections and research. SuccessBeyond.org, Success Beyond the Classroom, special academic challenge programs for students in Minnesota schools. syvum.com/teachers, civam, complete solution for teachers, online grade book, quiz library and creation capacity, games and downloads. teacher-support-force.com, Teacher Support Force, veteran teacher Pat Jones shares techniques and strategies for applying brain science in the classroom to support learning. TeachersFirst.com, Teachers First, classroom resources and lesson plans for K-12. TeachingHeart.net, Teaching is a Work of Heart, includes thematic units, ideas for all holidays, humor for teachers, interactive links, free worksheets, lessons, and poems. teachingtreasures.com.au/education_links_page.htm, teaching treasures, teacher and student links arranged by subject. thevirtualvine.com, the virtual vine, pre-K through second grade themes and units, literacy and curriculum links. usmint.gov/kids/index.cfm $/kids/teachers/index.cfm, the US Mint's Teachers section, reusable, cross-curricular classroom resource for teachers. wgbh.org, wgbh/Boston, public broadcasting from Boston, weekly highlights, links to websites for WGBH productions which are fully accessible to surfers with disabilities. wirral-mbc.gov.uk, the World Learning Grid, United Kingdom resources in specific subject areas, curriculum advice and professional development. worksheetgenius.com, Worksheet Genius, printable worksheets, puzzles and activities that can be differentiated and randomized at the touch of a button. worksheets4teachers.com, Worksheets for Teachers, part of a large site of resources for teachers. This page has worksheet generators, bank of existing worksheets and links to others. Education products at dmoz-odp.org/reference/education/products_and_services. abcfeelings.com, ABC Feelings, Inc., offers books, tapes, games and posters designed to help children recognize and express their feelings. AEIseminars.com, American Education Institute, provides accredited education seminars for medical, dental, and legal professionals at vacation destinations. AwesomeMrIES.com, AwesomeMrIES.com, presents stories with related content in the form of videos, audio clips, documents, and images. BrainGym.org, Brain Gym, offers books, tapes and CDs regarding physical activities that have been shown in enhance concentration and cognitive and learning abilities. EDACT.com, Educational Activities, Inc., books, audio and video for early childhood through adult education. Edmentum.com, Edmentum, Inc., offers online learning programs that address the needs of individual learners. XBLORelearning.com, explore learning gizmos, hundreds of online simulations with lesson materials, supporting research-based strategies to build deep conceptual understanding in math and science. FONTS4TEACHERS.com, Fonts for Teachers, offers manuscript, cursive and Denialian style fonts for learning handwriting, phonetic symbol font, and math and ASL symbol fonts. Freewayfoundation.org, Freeway Foundation, headquartered in St. Louis, Missouri, they are a fully chartered nonprofit organization that provides educational programs to schools, churches and other secular and Christian-based organizations and professional degrees to pastors, counselors, and other ministers. history-timeline.com, World History Timeline, a multidisciplinary wall chart of all human knowledge, including the sciences, arts, humanities, and steps in the evolution of the universe and humans. K12tlc.org, K-12 Teaching and Learning Center, a member-supported resource for K-12 educators, students, and families. Kaplanco.com, Kaplanco.com, markets classroom materials, outdoor equipment, and children's furniture for infant through elementary classrooms. Kidsbooksandpuppets.com, Act 2 Books and Puppets, features children's books and folk manus puppets as well as videos and books. Kindermagic.com, Kinder Magic, children's software company producing math, science, economy, and theater software and videos. LePenique.org, Learning Through an Expanded Arts Program, a not-for-profit educational services organization working with 450 schools, museums, shelters, and community organizations in the Northeast. LearningWrapups.com, Learning Wrap UPS, includes directions, success stories, list of dealers and an explanation of tools' effectiveness. LegacyProductsInc.com, Legacy Products, Inc., offers health education products, mannequins and adapters/overlays, to assist in explaining medical procedures or diseases and their treatments. Mediatraco.com, Media Training Corporation, training materials to improve English language and intercultural skills. press-enterprise.com/Ni, newspaper in education, an international program begun in 1955 to advance the use of newspapers in schools. schooldatebooks.com, school datebooks, create customized planning calendars for elementary schools, middle and high schools and colleges. schoolexpress.com, School Express, interactive learning games, free printables and software as well as an library of theme resources available to paid subscribers. Synchronopedia.com, Synchronopedia timeline reference wall charts, offers wall charts and posters of historical themes including inventions, discoveries, and women in history. Teachersandfamilies.com, Teachers and Families, subscription site offers educational activities for school, study units for K-12 students and information for parents. Teachwithmovies.org, Teach with Movies, online learning guides for cinematic movies. Tutorace.com, video resources software, offers math, grammar, phonics, language, social studies, science, and health software and videos. Geography websites at dmoz-odp.org/science/social_sciences/geography/education/k_through_12. nationalgeographic.com. Alaschool.org, Alaska Native Studies Curriculum and Teacher Development, Resources and Curriculum, History of Alaska Native Education, Onksa, Reindeer Herding and Inupiaq Language Materials. Bennett.caru.net, GeoNet, Geographical Resources, includes downloadable teacher resources, Key Stage 3 and GCSE helps, case studies and links. Canjo.ca, Canadian Geographic, online version of the popular magazine. drivearoundtheworld.com/education/teacher.htm, Drive Around the World, education site, lesson plans about culture and understanding how United States citizens fit in the global universe. ed.gov/pub/geography, U.S. Department of Education, a plethora of links to sites on how to help a young child learn geography. eduplace.com/geonet, GeoNet game, online geography game for students grades 4 and above, includes teacher's guide. geographic.ubc.ca/courses/clinks/gis.notes/ncgia/toc.html, the National Center for Geographic Information Analysis Core Curriculum, a guideline for a university-level course in GIS. lessontutor.com/bellm17.html, Let's Study Ancient Egypt, multi-sensory lesson plans for studying the geography, culture, pharaohs, pyramids and religions of ancient Egypt. Mapping.com, mapping the world by heart, maps and information. members.tripod.com/fhsgeography, geography at Formby High School, home page for the geography department. nativetech.org, Native American Technology and Art, focuses on the Native American tribes of the eastern woodlands and their use of assorted natural materials. kia.com/custom/formain.html, U.S. State Capitals, offers online activities to practice memorization of state capitals using flashcards, matching, concentration and word searches. kia.com/pages/all.html, Kia. Class page, large collection of online games and activities created by a teacher for geography studies. users.globalnet.co.uk/derainer/index.htm, Georesources, aims to provide a wide range of catalogued and tested links for geography students at Key Stage 3, GCSE and A-Level. wings.buffalo.edu/info-poland/classroom/index.html, Poland in the classroom, extensive learning materials and information on Polish history, culture, important figures, and legends. worldtrek.org/odyssey/teachers/index.html, the Odyssey, Teacher Zone, the educational program of the Odyssey, World Trek for Service and Education is an around-the-world adventure in education, communication, and social change. yourchildlearns.com/puzzle_maya.htm, Middle East Map Puzzle, a free map puzzle download for learning the locations of the countries and capitals of the Middle East. yourchildlearns.com/geography.htm, Owl and Mouse educational software, maps that teach, learn US and world geography with interactive maps. yourchildlearns.com/puzzle_afr.htm, Africa map puzzle, requires Windows 3.1, 95, or 98. yourchildlearns.com/features.htm, World Features Map Puzzle, interactive map for students to learn the locations and geographic significance of the major physical features of the world, from the Andes to the Great Barrier Reef.